My name is Aly Cheema, and I'm heading a function called Government and Policy Advocacy as part of Ericsson in Middle East and Africa. I mean, Ericsson has been participating in GITEX for as long as we remember. In fact, as long as I remember. It's a regional event. It attracts all such exciting talents, and by being here, it gives us an opportunity to share the exciting new opportunities, exciting new technologies that we're bringing. So we are always excited to be here. When it comes to GIA HUB, this is my second opportunity to be here, the second year. And it's very exciting to see, particularly in the UAE, it's very exciting to see how the government is using digitalization and bringing it to the fore, and how the academia is supporting this ambition of the UAE government. So right now we are here because we want to speak to these key stakeholders, understand how we can collaborate in this bigger dimension and build the digital future that we are all looking forward to. So it's a very big question, to be frank. I mean, collaboration is the key to the future. Digitalization, the value that digitalization brings is that it brings people closer, it brings entities closer, and that's where the value really comes from. Now, the key stakeholders which are here are, of course, government has to put the policies and keep the right direction, so that if they're able to build those policies and have the right regulatory frameworks, only then the market will be able to react and build in the right direction. So that's first step. The second part, which is the academia. Academia has to take very close view or keep a close eye on where the market and the industry is working. And the way to do that is not to just get feedback every 4 or 5 years, but actually have a direct dialogue with stakeholders and industry like Ericsson, for example, so that we can work together and understand what are the needs to build. Now, initiatives like GIA, like GIA, these are excellent. They provide an excellent opportunity for people to sit on the same panel and have a discussion around topics which otherwise would be very difficult to do so. And I would say the next step, so first step is, of course, to be on the same table to discuss further. The next step is to actually co-create initiatives. Without co-creating initiatives, it will be very difficult to mature any of these discussions into tangible actions. So these two, I would say, are the best steps forward. And in that context, Ericsson has been very, very active. We work quite closely with the regulators and the policymakers in the UAE and across the Middle East. We have, in fact, for the sake of it, we have a very interesting Design Your Own Career seminar that will be held today in our booth in GITEX, and we'll have a similar one on Friday as well. So I would encourage you and others who are interested to drop by and see, because that will help connect with the industry on a very direct manner. Right. As I mentioned, so hubs like GIA, one of the biggest roadblocks to collaboration is being able to understand what the other person's perspective is. Initiatives like GIA HUB, they provide you an opportunity where different stakeholders can sit together and not just present their own opinion, but actually understand what the other person's thought process is. Let me give an example. Middle East and UAE has been one of the leading countries with regards to digitalization and introduction of 5G across the globe. As a result, we see all the innovation that we see around us. And as a result, UAE, when we were faced with the sad issue of the pandemic, we were able to immediately switch to a digital version from the physical one. Now, the reason that those things were in place is because the government, in this case, the regulator, the TDRA, the Telecom and Digital Regulatory Authority, they were very keen and very early to bring the industry and the stakeholders together into what they call the 5G committees at the time. And when these stakeholders were sitting together, they were able to design what we now see as the current infrastructure. And that enabled us to actually quickly move from the physical to the digital. GIA Hub can essentially do the same. It's just, I would love for GIA Hub to be more than an annual thing, because a lot of these times, these excitements, these initiatives, they have to be nurtured. Just like you're bringing up any initiative needs to be polished, needs to be, engagement cannot be just once, it has to be repetitive. So more of this might be the way to move forward. Well, the reality is entrepreneurship is another name for challenges, realistically speaking. That simply means that you're going headfirst into a life of challenges. So if you're not looking for challenges, don't go into entrepreneurship. But that's just one side of it. It is highly rewarding as well. So the point that we can do, the challenges that entrepreneurs face is, of course, is to understand the solution and then bring it into scale. So it is very important for an entrepreneur to understand what has been done before, to make sure that they are not isolating themselves in their expertise, in their engagement. They need to reach into the market and understand the wider scale of the market so that they could expand and build on that. Without being able to do that, it will be very difficult for them to sustain themselves. And agility is the key. So what we can do is help them be agile, help them. I read somewhere, and I draw a blank now, that one of the biggest freedoms one can have is the freedom to fail. So if we give the entrepreneurs the freedom to try, fail, and try again, that's where they are able to succeed and continue going forward. So challenges are a constant. If you don't want challenges, don't go into entrepreneurship. But the point is, challenges are there to help you mature further. The way to address them is not by standing alone and being unique is not the same as being alone. Be unique, but don't be alone. Reach out, collaborate, and that's where you can solve problems together. Cheers. It's my pleasure. No, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, and best of luck to you.